Hello, virtuous thought leaders, scholars, and virtue change agents. My name is Dr. Lisa Marie Portugal, and I am the Leadership Architect. I'd like to welcome you today to another talk that I have prepared for you and in service to you and your goals. This talk comes out of one of my books called A Culture of Excellence, Virtuous Leadership Principles for Organizational Success, a Management System. And this particular talk is called Virtue, Principles, and Character. There is my leadership brand, both personal and professional, and the logo that I made for myself, and I encourage you to live virtuously and possibly create a brand logo for your leadership style as well. Okay, here is the table of contents, my about page. What is character? The objective of virtue ethics, and then conclusion and references. All right, here is my about page, and as you know, if you follow me, I am all about creating, developing, designing, fostering, and promulgating a culture of excellence, and I hope that whatever that I can impart to you, you could take the ball and run with it and create a culture of excellence in your own life and in your own sphere of influence. Okay, here we go. So what is character? When discussing the ethics of virtue, the focus shifts from what an individual should do to a focus on whom that individual is. For example, what is the individual's character? With this perspective, an important point to make is that the view shifts to a different way of looking at ourselves. When discussing a person's character, concepts such as enduring beliefs, values, attitudes, and dispositions constitute what a person is. Similarly, one's virtues or lack of virtue constitute what that person's character is. These concepts become the identity of a person. For example, who the person is. An individual's character involves his or her rational or irrational deliberate choices, behaviors, and habits. Thus, an individual's character constitutes how he or she acts and makes decisions. The objective of virtue ethics is to develop and train an individual's character so that it is more inclined to act ethically. An age-old question such as, is virtue learned or genetic, or are leaders made or born, can be answered by the notion that all people can learn and all people can advance through development and training. People may learn at different times, in different ways, and at different speeds, but all people can and do learn. Therefore, all people can benefit from a comprehensive virtuous training and development program designed for any age, any group, and in any setting. And I mention all of these particular ideas in this particular slide because you can be that person who can develop virtuous training and development programs for others, for any age, wherever you happen to be. When virtue principles are sought, taught, fostered, and promulgated within a society, organization, and nation, people can and do flourish because behaviors are influenced to cultivate a culture of excellence. So how do we get to a culture of excellence? Well, it takes you, it takes me, it takes all of us to learn what these principles are, to understand what our Christian faith is rooted in, and then to go out and spread these ideas to other people, wherever we may be and in whatever interaction we may be involved in. So you, as a leader developing your own competencies, you can be those people that can go out and within your sphere of influence, develop those training programs for others, in addition to, of course, modeling our Christian faith to others as well. Okay, so let's get to my conclusion slide and let me ask you an important question. What behaviors do you believe might foster a culture of excellence? And I have a couple of graphics here that I love. Okay, let's look at Thomas Aquinas. As you know, he was a church father. And here's a quote. Perfection of moral virtue does not wholly take away the passions, but regulates them. Very cool, right? So I wish I would have known that, not or paid attention or been more mindful of my parents tried to raise me correctly, and controlled my passions better. As an adult, of course, we all end up learning. You know what? I can control my passions a little bit better, right? So, and our passions are everything. All of the things that make us want to do. The negative behaviors that we may engage in. So I love this quote as an adult, and I wish I would have been quicker when I was younger. But a lot of you may be quicker when you're at your age, if you're younger than me, and maybe you already understand that, right? So, like I said before, that we all learn at different times throughout our life, but everyone can and does learn. And hopefully, through your mentorship and coaching of others in your sphere of influence, you can help people understand these concepts sooner so that they can create less havoc, less chaos, and less damage in their life, right? So that's why I just love that. I love the church fathers, but that's a great quote. And then up here we have the virtues and the vices, right? So virtues: honesty, patience, temperance, justice, generosity, courage. I love courage. And modesty. And then the vices: dishonesty, impatience, injustice, self-indulgence, greed, cowardice, and immodesty. I know for me, I have to work on building virtue all the time, every day in my life, right? So I just wanted to impart some of these ideas to you and have you think more deeply about how you might go about developing training and professional development programs for others within your sphere of influence. All right, so that concludes the talk. Here is the reference slide. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about building your own leadership competencies. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.